Hey everybody! In this month's super duper fun kit video, I'm going to show you how to make this antique faux leather map. It's so much fun, such a fun process, and can be used on lots of different projects. I also have tons of other under the sea themed cards for you on my blog today, as well as a giveaway and a few more tips and techniques like for this background. Now this project starts with a piece of a grocery bag, which I always have tons of. I love these paper grocery bags. Sometimes they even have fun art on them that I use. And I'm using this awesome treasure map cling. This even has little stamping names for the different areas of the map. So it's really fun, super fun, kind of classic treasure map image that I just love, and I am stamping this in intense black onto just a scrap of this grocery bag. You will want to use a grocery bag and not cardstock for this technique because we are going to be roughing this up a little bit. When that's dry, I'm just spraying it with water and crumpling it up. This is to get that antique map texture. In the end, the water helps soften the fibers so that you can crumple it without tearing it. So just damp, you don't want it soaking wet because that can actually make it more prone to tearing. So just damp just until it's easy to crumple up. And you'll know when it's right. I knew when it was right. So anyway, you will unfold that and we're going to want to dry this just a little bit. Don't get it totally smooth. We want to preserve some of those wrinkles through the drying process. And you can either let this air dry or you can manually dry it like I'm doing here. I was a little bit impatient. I wanted to try this technique. And so I sped it along with the heat gun. Now you'll want to smooth out the back. I have my little spreader tool here, which you can see I use all the time. It's covered with paint. And I'm just smoothing it out. You don't want to get it completely smooth again. Just getting the bigger wrinkles out so that I can go on to the next step. So again, I'm going to dry this just a little bit and just kind of patting it with my hand to make sure that it's dry. Now I have I believe it's silicone. I think that's the secret ingredient. I also have a L'Oreal version of this product that I've used in other videos, but I've seen this in a bunch of videos on YouTube, and it doesn't really tell you in the ingredients. I can't really see that it's silicone, but what this step does is it makes the paper actually like leather. It makes it stretchy. I assume this is what it's doing for your hair. It's kind of making it stretchy and less prone to breaking. When you are done with this map, it's really going to feel like almost like a piece of fabric or leather. It's going to have a little bit of give to it. It's going to not feel like a paper bag at all. It's going to be more resistant to tearing. So again, when you're done applying that, you wad it up and let it air dry. Again, I am smoothing it out just a little bit. You can see I've really crumpled it really well this time. And so I'm just very gently smoothing this out. This product also darkens the paper just a little bit. I first saw this used on a really fun YouTube channel. A woman in France. It's called Le Café Craft. I believe that's who I first saw do this technique, but it's been done forever. You can find a million faux leather tutorials, but I just enjoy listening to her talk, and no one has ever really explained what this product does, but what I can tell you from using it is it makes it into stretchy leather-like paper, and it's really kind of magical. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. So now I'm going to tear this down to the correct size for my card front. And I like mine really dark. So the process that I'm going to use is going to darken it quite a bit. You're not going to see the full detail of the map, but it's going to be more in the background, and it's just so much fun. It just really looks like a long lost treasure map. Now I'm going to add a warm color too, which is this root beer ink, and I'm going to darken the edges just a little bit. Now this is a water reactive ink, and so there's a step that I'm going to do later on that will activate this ink, and sort of spread it out over the surface of my little map, which is good. If you don't want that to happen, just use an archival brown ink, but I think you're really going to like the way that this looks. So now I have a little piece of a craft mat. I always cut mine up. And I'm just going to dry the water reactive ink real quickly before I go on to the next step, which is adding some matte medium. Now this is a gloss matte medium because I wanted mine to be a little bit shiny, but you can also use a matte gel medium. You could use Mod Podge. That doesn't really dry all that well in my climate, so I tend to use gel medium instead. And I'm just going to sort of pat this on with a silicone spreader because I'm trying not to spread the ink around too much, the root beer ink. So I'm just kind of dabbing it into all the little crevices of the map, and see how you can see that map detail underneath all like the wrinkles that make it look like it's from hundreds of years ago. So much fun. So I'll flip my mat over and let that dry. Now that it's dry, you can see what I'm talking about. It really looks like a different substance. It no longer looks like a grocery bag, not even in the least. You can sort of tell it was a bag on the back. And now I have some Hero Wax. Look at this beautiful shimmery wax. It has like a very creamy texture, and it's great for highlighting all these little wrinkles that I have. I felt like the treasure map theme deserved a little bit of gold to keep in theme with the idea that there's a treasure somewhere on this map. And so I'm just lightly highlighting the wrinkles with the wax. This wax does dry completely. So once this is dry, it's not going to rub off on your fingers. It's going to be on this project forever, permanently. And I love that. It's so shimmery and pretty. And I'm actually going to use a second color of wax to re-darken the edges as well. But this really brings out the texture that you've put with all of these steps into this treasure map. So this wax is the black wax. And I'm going to go around the edges of this with my finger and sort of give it that burned look that you see in, I don't know, was there one of these in Peter Pan? I can't remember, but all the books from my childhood that involved pirates, and they're little scraps of burned, torn up treasure maps that probably had the really important part where the X marked the spot torn off, but they probably still found the treasure in the end. So I love this look. It just ages it even a little bit more, and it becomes a full mixed media little piece that you can put on your card. I think this would be super fun for any pirate themed birthday invitations. You could put a little X, maybe mark out a spot on the map where your house is for the party. Just super cute theme. I can never get enough of pirate themed things. So let me show you this. It's quite beautiful, very detailed. Look at the map details that you can see underneath all the mediums. It's just a little hint of that fun treasure that you might find by following this map. And the texture I cannot describe to you, but again, it really feels like stretchy leather. Very fun. So here's a close-up of just the finished map. Here it is on my card with the little fishy and Never Stop Exploring. Similar theme with a little background technique that I will describe on my blog that I also used on this card with this stunning mermaid from this month's kit. And then the little shark card. Oh my gosh, who can resist a shark? So head over to my blog for more information, and thanks so much for watching.